Hello, and this evening I'm going to review this album from Lou Reed. Someone suggested I review Velvet Underground or Lou Reed, and this is my favourite album of his from his solo career, and probably better than anything that Velvet Underground put down, in my opinion. 1990, January 89 it came out, and on the cover various pictures of Lou. I think that they're all Lou from different angles, and it's just a brilliant album. And talk about albums which flow from start to finish and have a theme. This one is amongst the best, and as Lou says on the back cover, this album was recorded and mixed at Media Sound Studio B, New York City, in essentially the order that you have here. It's meant to be listened to in one 58-minute brackets 14 songs sitting, as though it were a book or a movie. And I think I agree. I mean, this album flows so well together, and he even tells you a bit of the details of the musicianship. I'm on the left, and the other guitars, Mike Rathke is on the right. I did all the solos except for the two clean ones on Endless Cycle and Sick of You. Rob Wasserman played the Clevenger electric upright six-string bass on everything but Romeo and Juliet and Busload of Faith, where my co-producer Fred Maher played a Fender. Fred did all the drums, with the exception of Last Great American Whale, Dime Store Mystery, where the percussionist was Maureen Mo Tucker from Velvet Underground, I think. So it's just a stupendous album, and just proof positive that artists could reach the heights of their earlier career in latter days. I mean, this is not particularly latter days, 1989, but still just wonderful to see how artists can just reach the heights, literally reach the heights of their earlier career in later albums. Some of the reviews, one of them said this is indisputably I can't read my writing one of the best of an inconsistently brilliant solo career. New York is a masterpiece of literate adult rock and roll, and the finest album of Reed's solo career. And I would agree. I mean, I've listened to a few. I think probably my second favourite might be Magic and Loss from 1992, where he mourned the death of his friend through cancer. Transformer and the early stuff is great, but the band on this album, Lou Reed on guitar, Mike Rathke on guitar, Rob Wasserman on bass, and Fred Maher on drums, plus Mo Tucker on percussion, Jeffrey Lesser backing vocals, Dion DiMucci on backing vocals on Dirty Boulevard. And there's a video which was released on August 13th, 1989, or recorded in August the 13th, 1989, which I had on VHS, but to this day I don't think it's been available on DVD, but it is available on YouTube, or much of that concert is available on YouTube. It was recorded in Montreal, Canada, and again just shows the musicianship and the unifying theme of all the songs on here. It wasn't a tremendous hit, number 14 in the UK and only number 40 in the US. Got to number 11 in Switzerland, number 19 in Germany, and number 8 in Austria. Quite a long album, 56 minutes, 40. What else? I think the lyrics on here are as good as Bob Dylan at his best. I'd say no less than that. And Lou, we sadly lost in 2013 at the age of 71. Saw him on the Magic and Loss tour, Hammersmith Odeon, where I forget the order, but I think the first half was doing various hits from his career, and the second half was just the whole album, Magic and Loss, and that's a wonderful album. if a little bit depressing because of the subject matter. He's talking about the death of his friend. But it's just brilliant. And so let's go through the tracks. I mean, and let's show you the packaging. So this, that's the cover, the back cover. We have the lyrics in very small writing in various languages, French, German included. And then some note on the back that he wasn't able to produce it in Italian, I think, I'm not sure. And then here, the lyrics. Wonderful to have the lyrics, especially on an album like this. One wishes one had the lyrics to, say, Blood on the Tracks and other albums, but here they are, faithfully produced, and Romeo Had Juliet. It's just a superb opener. And just the words, caught between the twisted stars, the plotted lines, the faulty map that brought Columbus to New York. Between the east and west, he calls on her, wearing a leather vest. The earth squeals and shudders to a halt. A diamond crucifix in his ear, used to help ward off the fear that he has left his soul in someone's rented car. Inside his pants, he hides a mop to clean the mess that he has dropped into, the life of lithesome Juliet Bell. And Romeo wanted Juliet, and Juliet wanted Romeo. It's just a great song and great guitar. And I couldn't help feeling, listening to this, that the guitarist looks a bit like the long-haired Christopher Eccleston in Our Friends from the North, mid-70s period. That's quite amusing. And just a great, not just him, but just the band. Superb drums from Fred Mayher, superb six-string bass from Rob Wasserman, and brilliant guitar from Lou Reed and Mike Rathke. As he said, he's on the right, and he's on the left, and the other guitarist, Mike Rathke, is on the right. So I advise you to check out the concert film of this album, where he produces a good 2/3 of it. And then Halloween Parade is in honor of AIDS people who were dying in New York, and it's very moving and great backing vocals. And one of his very best songs, Dirty Boulevard, written about some shelter houses in New York where they keep the poor, as he says. And Pedro lives out of the Wiltshire Hotel. He looks out a window without glass. The walls are made of cardboard, newspapers on his feet. His father beats him because he's too tired to beg. He's got brothers and sisters. They're brought up on their knees. It's hard to run when a coat hanger beats you on the thighs. Pedro dreams of being older and killing the old man, but that's a slim chance. He's going to the Boulevard. This room costs $2 a month. You can believe it, man. It's true. Somewhere a landlord's laughing till he wets his pants. No one here dreams of being a doctor or a lawyer or anything. They dream of dealing on the Boulevard and Dirty Boulevard. Just a brilliant song, and I can't emphasize enough the musicianship. An Endless Cycle is another great song. There Is No Time. Just a remarkable consistency on this album. It really is one of the best albums post 80s or post late 80s, should we say. And then Last Great American Whale is brilliant. Great bass playing again. Don't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. It's a lot like my painter Donald said to me, stick a fork in their ass and turn them over, they're done. Just brilliant. Beginning of a Great Adventure, co-written by Lou Reed and Mike Rathke, is superb. And then Busload of Faith. What a superb opener to side 2. And this song was featured in that series, that US series Homicide. And it's a pretty good song to play if you're depressed and you want to wallow in self-pity and just rock out. You can't depend on your family, you can't depend on your friends, you can't depend on a beginning, you can't depend on an end. You can't depend on intelligence, you can't depend on a God. You can only depend on one thing: you need a busload of faith to get by. It's just a brilliant song, and that performance in Homicide with Detective Munch is brilliant, and it was from a film called True Believers, but Lou said it was in the movies for about a week, but it's not the fault of my song. As I said, the lyrics are as good as Dylan, in my opinion, at his best. Sick of You is another great track. Hold On. Good Evening, Mr. Waldheim. About the politician, the Austrian politician who had a dodgy Nazi past, perhaps, is great. And then references to Jesse Jackson in that song. Xmas in February, heartbreaking. Straw Man is a very moving song. Does anyone need a $1 billion rocket? Does anyone need a $60,000 car? Does anyone need another president? Or the sins of Swagat, parts 6, 7, 8, and 9. Does anyone need another politician caught with his pants down, money sticking in his hole? Does anyone need another racist preacher? Spitting in the wind can only do you harm. Does anyone need another faulty shuttle blasting off to the moon? Venus or Mars, does anyone need another self-righteous rock and roll singer whose nose, he says, has led him straight to God? Does anyone need another blank skyscraper? If you're like me, I'm sure a minor miracle will do. A flaming sword, or maybe a gold ark floating up the Hudson. When you spit in the wind, it comes right back at you. It's just a great angry song, and this is quite an angry album, but the lyrics really stand up. And it's a bit one-dimensional in that respect, a bit like Plastic Ono Band, I suppose, from Lennon. You have to be in the mood to listen to it, but it rocks really hard, and the musicianship is brilliant. Dime Store Mystery is a great closer to the album. I'm not sure if they did that song, those last couple of songs in the concert, because the version I saw on YouTube was curtailed quite early. But anyway, yeah, we lost Lou 5 years ago. Great loss. But this is his tour de force. He had many, of course, and I'm trying to get into his other stuff. I picked this up because I didn't have it on vinyl. I only had it on CD and that VHS copy of the concert. But I'm mighty glad I have it on vinyl, and it's a stupendous effort, and thank you for watching. See you next time.